Hello. Live at 5. Hey guys. Hi Leah. What's going on? Miss you. We're back to Mondays. For now. Hi Mary. Happy Monday. Hey Megan. Thanks for tuning in tonight. So the past 2 weeks I've been on live at Tuesdays, just for life, life happened, and different things with schedule. But I do want to try to keep consistent on these weekly trainings. Somewhat different topic every single week. Hey Markeisha. As it relates to primarily nutrition, tonight's going to be a little different, more focused on exercise. Hey Liz, activity, and the like. So obviously when it comes to health and fitness, there's a lot of factors. And the latest thing for me has been really taking a deep dive with nutrition. But obviously not neglecting anything exercise or activity related either. So that's kind of what I want to go over tonight. It was a little bit more on the activity focus, and I labeled it cardio because I think some people are still in that boat of gravitating towards cardio as their method of fat loss. And I wanted to kind of debunk a little bit of that and talk about long-term strategies that maybe will get you out of that boat a little bit. So first of all, welcome to all of our new members. We've had a ton, like I said last week, lots of new people coming in, lots of great energy, and I appreciate it very much. So confused with cardio. Yep, I know. It's just a lot to think about. So I'm gonna hopefully kind of break it down a little bit for you tonight. So last I checked on the page here, we are at 952 members. Yes. And so if you guys have been watching, you know that I had a goal set for 1,000 members by April. We are like so close. So if we can get 48 more people in this group, here's what I'm going to do. In the past, you may have seen me, I open up applications for free coaching every now and then, free nutrition coaching. And so I would love to do that again, to be able to offer that. So that was kind of like my milestone, was 1,000 members, and I will offer out 6 months of free nutrition coaching to one person. But allowing you guys to apply. And I also, when I do these applications, I know there's a lot of people that could use this service. So I usually award one person the free coaching and then a few others with some additional prizes. So that have to do with the coaching as well. So that being said, keep inviting some friends in. I know you're trying. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. And another way to do it is, I know sometimes hitting that invite button, it can seem like you're maybe implying that someone might be overweight and needing my help. And that can be a little awkward. So maybe try, if you want to just post it to your page, say, hey, my friend Megan here, she has this free page. Feel free to go in and check it out. Here, let me know if you need the link, or, so it's not as like, invite to Secrets to Fat Loss page. That can be a little bit in your face, I guess. So that all being said, let me start out by saying, give me an emoji below or comment if you still believe, or you have believed in the past, that cardio is the best method for fat loss. So again, looking for anyone that kind of still has that belief, or you've maybe thought that in the past, where you're ready, you're motivated, you're thinking, I want to lose weight, I want to lose fat. What's the first thing you're going to build into your plan? A lot of women particularly are going to gravitate towards cardio, or jumping on a piece of cardio for that result. And I'm here to argue a little bit with that. And not saying that cardio does not work. That is not true. However, I think there are better, more efficient, and long-term sustainable methods. And so I'm going to talk about just a couple of those tonight. So we kind of all know that calories in versus calories out is the equation for losing weight. It's true. It's a fact. It's a law. It's thermodynamics. There's all these, books and research on that, and that's very, very true. But we know that there's a lot that goes behind just calories in, calories out. So when you think about cardio, the cardio I'm speaking of tonight is where you're literally jumping on a piece of equipment for an extended period of time. That's, the elliptical, that's the treadmill, that's your typical when you go to the gym. Those are the things we kind of gravitate towards, right? And I know just from working in several gyms pretty much throughout my entire life that when I'm always in the gym, where do I see women? I see them gravitating on the cardio pieces. I do not see them typically gravitating in the weight room. And I think there's a lot of factors for that. One being that the weight room is a little intimidating. Sometimes we just don't know what to do in there. And it can be a little bit scary. So that's probably one reason. But I think the other thing is that cardio is just, again, it's easy to think that if I just burn this much off, it'll start to melt off. I just keep burning. So my whole thing tonight would be to shift that mindset from a burn perspective to more of a build perspective. So when we think about metabolism, we're trying to nourish and kind of build in things that are going to make you work, make you function long-term better. So let me just go into real quick my story that I have as I was, going through some changes in the past few years with my own body, my own career, my own mental shifts, what have you. So it was 2020 when everything just went crazy. And along with that, the prior 2 years before that, I had been going through a lot of weird pain in my lower body. I've had a couple different surgeries, and I thought there was some nerve damage going on, a lot of tingling down the leg, back pain, so hip pain. It was just a series of what the heck is going on with my body? So after, kind of figuring things out, different doctors, different things, I ended up having surgery on the hip. And after that, and actually prior to hip surgery, I was kind of knocked down, if you will, into walking. That was the only form of exercise that I could really do. And even walking, it could be a struggle. Hey, Marge. Hi, guys. Good to see you joining in. So like I said, I went from the high intensity interval training, the boot camp style, doing that 4 or 5 times a week at the facility I was owned at the time, to being forced to nothing for a while, and then finally getting to a point where I could walk. And I considered walking like my savior at the time. And lo and behold, during these walks, I would throw in a podcast, usually fitness related, and something to kind of keep the mind positive and something to keep myself moving forward during this time of chronic pain. So let me fast forward a little bit. Had the surgery, I did the rehab, and I knew I wanted to kind of get myself back in the best shape possible. I never stopped that walking. And here we are 2 years later, and I never really gave it up. The only time I didn't do a whole lot of walking was during my contest preparation. I did 2 bodybuilding shows in the last year. And ironically, I didn't do a whole lot of cardio for bodybuilding shows. Again, just proving the method of if you're feeding yourself properly and you're weight training, you can technically get away without doing cardio. Now, the caveat here being that if you're somebody that loves cardio, let's build it in. I'm not trying to say don't do cardio. I'm just saying finding the right energy balance for you based on your goals is probably top of the line for you. So that's kind of my story, and I wanted to bring it up because, like I said, I built that in. It's now a routine. I cannot go a day without walking now. And it sounds a little obsessive, but it's, I look at it as part of my step count, and I'm going to get into the whole step thing in a minute here. But the steps per day are pretty important when we're talking about health, wellness, longevity, and just being an active person. So I think one of the most damaging things we can do as individuals is sit all day. And I learned that too, going from working in the gyms, being on my feet, helping people, training people, to then shutting down. Everything's online now. I'm sitting at a desk all day long. And on top of back and hip pain, sitting was the worst thing I could do. And so again, there lies why I did so much walking. So that's kind of what my story was with walking. Now, the walking I would consider part of the plan as something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's a mouthful, I know. But basically NEAT is all of the things you're doing outside of working out. So a lot of times I think the workouts get really glorified because they're easy to post about on social media. Let's be honest. And even in the past, if we look at the trends, like the jazzercise and the high impact like cardio stuff, Reebok step aerobics and all that stuff, it was easy to market and is flashy. And now here we are, and we can just kind of like go back to the basics. Are we walking? Are we moving enough throughout the day? It doesn't have to be anything flashy. I literally throw my earpods in and a hat on in the winter, and I'm off and walking. And so the non-exercise activity that you're doing throughout the day, I would say is a priority. It should be a priority, sometimes over the working out, just because it's a steady thing you can do. And working out sometimes requires like a plan in place, and we know sometimes the plan gets a little bit off. So if you're an all or nothing type mentality, like myself, like a lot of people I work with, build that in. That's something you can do all the time. All right. So that's something that I want to talk about as far as NEAT goes. Now, NEAT can go beyond walking. It can be all of the things you're doing throughout your day. So doing your laundry. I made a post a few weeks ago about putting away my laundry super inefficiently because I want to get my steps in for the day. And I found myself doing weird stuff like that just to move more. So if you've ever found yourself like, I don't know, like trying to be super efficient with like a process like that, something at home, I go the other way with it. I'm like, I'm just going to put this one shirt over in this room, and then I'll put this shirt over in this room, because I just want movement. I want to try to just keep moving more. And again, I'll throw on music. I'll make it more enjoyable. All right. So the NEAT along with resistance training, I'll probably do a separate video all on resistance training at some point, because I do find that to be the best method for fat loss, simply because you are setting your body up for long-term metabolic benefits. Cardiovascular, too much of it is, again, you're chasing that sweat, that burn. You are actually burning and kind of more going into like a catabolic state where you're depriving your body, whereas muscle or resistance training is kind of building you up. It's allowing you to burn more calories even when you're at rest all day long. All right, so here we go back to those calories in versus calories out. Yes and no. So if I'm somebody that's consistently weight trained my whole entire life, I can get away with a little more calories throughout the day. So I'm not as, worried about eating something that's not necessarily on my plan or that kind of thing, because I know I've built in this kind of insurance policy where my muscle will take over, and it will help me burn this throughout the day, just sitting around at my desk or whatever I'm doing. So again, that's kind of the whole resistance thing, and we'll get into that another time. But here's the tips I'm going to leave you with for tonight. So if you are somebody that's never really paid attention to just how much you move throughout the day, I would start there. So just assess where you are with that. So many people are working from home now, sitting at a desk all day long. If you're that person, might be beneficial for you to get like a watch or a tracker. If you have an iPhone, on the health app, if you carry your phone with you, it will tell you how many steps you take per day. Just start there and see if, this is like, I would say 2,000 steps or under, we're in a little bit of trouble. We got to work on this. 5,000 steps is all right. We're doing a little better there. If you're working up towards like 7,000, 8,000 steps, that's great. And I'd say ideally 10 to 12,000 steps is a manageable and realistic goal for you if you're way down here. So I would start there and then set a realistic goal. If you are that person down at 2,000 steps a day, how can you slowly build that up in your day so that it becomes a habit? I'm going to give you one tip that might help if you are a person that's kind of stuck behind the desk. Every person's job is different. I don't know if it would allow it, but one easy thing you can do is just take a 10-minute walk after each meal. So just like you brush your teeth every day, just like you brush your hair, take a shower, just every time you eat, get up and take a quick walk right afterwards. Not only will that help with digestion, it'll just help with that routine. So we're all about routines, and the more you just build something into your day, the more you're likely you're going to do it. And then it just starts to become, like I said, like my walking, it's just a given. I'm going to do it every single day, however I can. And your step goals can change. So this is something I'm going through with a lot of my clients right now, is that we don't have to always be stuck in these like boxes. So yes, we want to get up to 10 to 12,000 steps a day, but like life sometimes just gets in the way. And also sometimes our calories aren't going to match what we're trying to do. So a lot of my clients right now, we're doing this reverse diet phase, and we're actually trying to increase their calories. So I'm not too worried about them increasing their steps too much just yet until we hit that fat loss phase, which is then when I want them at that higher level of activity throughout the day. So again, that can be something a coach can help you with, just to say, yeah, let's move it up now, or it's okay if we're not quite hitting our step goals. I just had the question tonight from a good friend who said, I'm not going to hit my step goals tonight. It's just not happening. I'm at like 1,700 right now. What should I do? Should I go ahead and try to hit all these steps tonight? Should I strength train, or should I do a combination of both? I told her just to strength train tonight. Strength training is going to send a signal to the body. Still, we're trying to still just stay in that maintenance calorie phase. If she was in her fat loss phase, I'd probably have a different answer for her. Just thinking about what the body needs and what we're trying to accomplish is the most important thing for you. So I hope that helps a little bit. I already talked about building in with the 10 minutes after each meal. And another thing, just maybe wake up a little bit, set your alarm for 20 minutes early and use that time to walk. Like I said, I enjoy walking now. I don't consider it exercise. I consider it a time to kind of collect my thoughts, listen. I educate myself with podcasts on different various topics, usually fitness related, like I said, but from people that I know and trust, and it's kind of where I take my information from and then bring it over to you guys. So I hope all of that was helpful. Like I said, in the comments, let me know if you've been like a cardio queen in the past, or king, and if this maybe changed your mind on some things. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Remember to invite your friends over to the page here. And I cannot wait to offer the 6 months free coaching once we hit those 1,000 members. And hey guys, I see you guys still joining in. And I hope you enjoyed the video and the replay if you're watching it later. Have a good night.